Okay, welcome back to Taiji Fencing 101. Swordsman Sha and Swordsman Soto here, and we're going to talk about a little bit of the other stuff that may come up in a sword fight. And a lot of that revolves around the other parts of the body, the other aspects of martial arts, which we haven't talked about in regards to the sword. So if Angel and I start with our swords engaged, one of the first things that you'll see is when we're fencing around, we're going to use our whole body, we're going to be moving and changing angles, and at some point, as we turn back here, boom, I grab Angel's hand. Maybe I get his arm, maybe I get his hand, maybe I get the pommel of his sword. This is a big, come on back, this is a big aspect of our sword style, and you can see it in all of Taiji sword forms. If you look at your Taiji sword form, I grab and follow. I parry and grab the handle, twist the pommel, lead with the tip. All these movements are in your Taiji sword forms. So we want to acknowledge their function and their use. And so whenever we have the sword fight, you'll notice that we're attacking the other person with both hands. So it's not just the sword, but we want to remember that if our other hand gets cut in the sword fight, then the point still counts. So we don't want to put our hand at risk in the fight, okay? And so we want to keep in mind we can grab and push and attack. But what happens if someone's pushing harder or stronger? Well, then that's the benefit they have over you. And as a martial art relying on the cut or the tag of the sword, not on the wrestling or the grappling or the holding of your stance, you should be able to deal with their additional power or strength with correct footwork and with the correct movement of your sword. So if Angel comes into here and Angel pushes on my arm and he pins my arm into my body and he plows through me with his muscles, I can't do much. So if I start flinching, I'm going to get hurt. But if we move back and Angel plows into me and he pins this and he goes for it, I move back faster and I can cut his leg maybe. So we want to keep in mind that we aren't cutting out power or strength. If he doesn't even get the grab and he's pushing hard with his sword, I need to be able to move and adjust in the correct way to deal with that additional power. That being said, we try to avoid excessive power because we don't want to hurt each other, so keep this all in mind. Now we want to remember the amount of power is going to be related to the amount of speed. So if Angel's pushing on the sword, because Angel's much stronger than me, if Angel pushes on my sword and he has so much power, I'm not going to be able to move his sword around with control because he's aggressive. What happens if Angel starts being aggressively strong? I have to go fast. And what happens when I go fast? His power is then moving fast and someone gets hurt. It could be either of us in this case. So let's keep in mind that if our partner can't move our sword when they push on it, then you are probably being too aggressive for how slow they're going. And we want to keep these two things in balance. The person that's going hard is going to cause the partner to go fast. And then the person going fast is going to cause the other person to go harder and faster. And we don't want to start this cycle. Now the next thing that might happen is people might want to consider punching or pommel striking. And these types of movements we allow to cause a flinch reaction or to cause just light contact, but there is no point awarded and you're not allowed to hurt them or cause any type of swelling or bruising on the skin if you do. So I'm not allowed to punch Angel in the head, but if we're here and I throw a punch at Angel's head and he reacts to it, then I can maybe do something else and get a cut. But I'm not allowed to punch him in the head. I tag him in the body a little, sorry, I should tag him in the body a little bit, or get a little shot to just upset his flow or his energy, but this is not a point. The point is from the cut, okay? And the next one here is kicking. You can kick, but once again, it can't be used to cause a strike to hurt, but you can use it to cause a distraction. I can also, if Angel brings my sword around to the front camera side here, he can also kick the back of my hand and try to knock the sword out of my hand or kick my sword or my pommel, and then he can follow in with a cut. But that cut is where the point is. It's not on the kick or on the press or on the other attacks. Now another common thing that happens are joint locks and throws. So if we're here and I get into this position, I might be able to put a joint lock on Angel to here, but now what kind of cuts do we have? Angel can probably throw me or counter with his free hand, and then he can manipulate my body to get a cut in on me, on the disengage. So there's a lot of things that can happen there. So we try not to encourage you getting into other martial art combats where you have joint locks and things, but they are going to happen for the advanced martial arts. We're not taking it off the table. Just keep in mind that when you're practicing with people, you want to fight in a way that they're aware of. You're not surprising them with new things. This is about getting better at skills, not about beating everyone based on them not understanding the rules of the game, let's say. So the last one we want to consider is sweeps. And so if Angel comes in with a lunge step here, and I get to here, I might be able to get behind his leg. And if I can get that sweep, that's great. But I need to follow with the cut. We also want to make sure we're not sweeping with power to throw downward. It has to be so I'm not allowed to throw Angel to the ground, but I'm allowed to sweep Angel and let him fall to the ground. And you want to make sure that your location allows this as well. If you have these types of floors, I wouldn't recommend beginners doing throws. So just keep that in mind. But when you practice with your friends, be aware of all these other techniques which may happen in the sword fight. So with Angel and I here, we're going to move around a little bit. At the end of every video, we kind of have a little fencing, it seems. So here we are pushing on each other's swords, but neither of us want to fight over them because we don't want to get cut. So we find a healthy way to disengage. Got my hand there. That was close. Could have been in. Oh, nice palm strike. See that? He used the palm strike. I reacted, and he got a nice follow-up cut. Oh, I think that could have been dirty. Nice arm shot. Nice use of your foot. Oh. So I got a little cut in there, but that's nice and dirty. Yeah, nice follow-up. So there's an example of staying in the pocket. Let's end on that one. Get a little tired here. Here we go. Good job.